looking at my lemonade.
What's good, yo? How we doing? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Got some strange streaks going on, man. I appreciate y'all. We out here, man. Yeah. Why am I not hearing that? I'm not hearing no blurp sounds. That's weird. Y'all hearing it? That was sound alerts, but I'm not hearing the wow. Damn. Hold up. Let's see what's going on there. Let me see if I can hear me. I got a new alert. Well, it's not even an alert, but it's just like a little thing. Okay, now it's working. Like if I start drinking and whatnot.
Stop looking at my lemonade.
Let's be random. Let's be random with it. Oh man, I literally just came across that for no reason. And I was like, you know what? I like that. I'm gonna use that somewhere. It's gonna happen. Very, very OG unk behavior. Let me put my little situation over here. Yuck. My soundboard up here ready. It's been a very like chill day so far. Nothing to complain about, you guys. It's been a chill day. What's good, Alon? How you been, bro?
Perhaps.
Maybe. Now, what's good with you? So I think I got all my stuff going. But I did not get to. I know I was saying, yo, I'm gonna finish up these hands when I get off stream. I did not get to do that. Had some family stuff come up, so went through that, went to sleep, and did my thing. Here we are again. So we're right back as wherever we were last night. Steadily moving. So what we're gonna do today, y'all. I like to keep that flow going. I did like doing the warm-up sketches with the hands and whatnot. I think that might be a good idea. I think I might try to do a little bit of that. And I think I'm gonna switch it up and add some like emotions in there, because I got some panels where some emotions are about to come in. I'm gonna need like some energy with this, so I'm gonna add some of that. But again, I'm alright. Also sent something in DMs, but I unsend it. Nothing rude, just a little bit, just a little outburst and frantic venting. Oh, okay. No, I didn't get a chance to look at it, bro. I was in work and whatnot, so I think I did see something on Instagram and whatnot. I don't have like my notifications on for like any social platform. I like to just like go into it and whatnot. It's just keep me off of the doom scrolling, if you will. But I want to say I went in there earlier when I had my break and I thought I saw something. I was like, oh yeah, I'll check that out. Okay. Oh, good. Yeah, I didn't even listen to it, so. Oh, good, my guy. I was gonna say. No, nothing. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it rolling, bowling. mainly mood today. Ad. I might be missing them. Mostly is mainly ads. Not sure. But in any case, bro, I'm glad to have you here. Glad to have everybody here. Hope everybody's having a good day. We're gonna go ahead and get started. And I'm gonna pack this sketch up here from what we did last time. Let me go ahead and go to what's the name here. And like breaking news, you guys been seeing that like that Naruto live action? They already started casting. Anybody could get in. You know what I'm saying? Keeman hit me. How you gonna hit him, Keeman? I'm interested about this. Oh, darn it. As I got all the funnies out the way, I still need to go to YouTube. Speaking of which, Rhino was actually pretty cool. That was a cool raid we had last night. I didn't get to stay on too long, but I know you were on there, Keeman. Hope you guys had a good time. Everybody in YouTube, calm down. Don't kill me. Okay, cool. Nobody's in here yet. What was what? Back from ads? Hey, welcome back. Welcome back, sir. Let me turn this down. I forgot about that. Oh, cool. I see the ChatGPT done updated again. Now it's like talking to you like with okay, right. I'm like, where'd you get that from? And ChatGPT be acting all fresh, like I don't know what you're talking about. I'm good. I was like, you ain't had no updates, and they're like, not that I'm aware of. I'm like, okay, and I go look it up, and then I'm like, so we talking about like this update? And they're like, oh yeah, that update. I swear, as we get older, man, I think AI is gonna be the supreme gaslighter. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. Y'all better write some stuff down, cause it's gonna be telling you stuff that you knew, and it's gonna be like, that didn't happen. I'm sorry you felt that way, but actually, this is what happened. But yeah, other than that, it was pretty cool. Is Gatling? Oh snap! Dang, real? Ugh. Yeah, it's done me too, bro. Nah, it done me like when I was repairing a car, and I was putting oil in it, and it was clearly telling me one version of oil, and it's like, yeah, I'm sure you're supposed to use this one. And I'm like, well, what about this one? And it was like, nope, that's the wrong one. And I'm like, then I go to AutoZone. They tell me the one that is correct, and it's not the one the ChatGPT told me. And then I go to the official website for the like the car manufacturer manual, and they give me the same one AutoZone gives me. And then I ask them again, and they're like, oh yeah, no, that's the right one. And then when I finally say, oh yeah, AutoZone and a manual, like, that is right. See, exactly, this was the correct one and whatnot. Glad I could help you figure that out. So yeah, be careful. Don't get angry at it, man. because it will gaslight you, make you feel weird. So I only use it like as so I only can use it but for so much, man. Let's see here. We're gonna go with some facial expressions here. We're gonna go with all. Let's see how we do with 60 seconds. We're gonna do, I guess we'll do 5 of these then. I'm gonna do 5 of these. Hopefully you guys can see it. Let me make sure I got my thing ready. Oh, for real? Nah. What you doing? I know not Keyman. I know the lines he messing with ChatGPT. I'm about to start doing my warm-ups. We're gonna do some facial expressions and some hands. I'm using the same website that I told you guys about yesterday. So we're gonna be doing that. Whoops, went to the wrong thing. Yeah. All right, just gotta widen this out here. Okay. I'm most likely gonna not get the first one right. That's cool. We got a 820 images. That's crazy. Okay. Make sure I get everything ready. Pen. All right, let's go. Hey, look at Mr. Goober over here. Who's a goofy goober? And the trick really with this one is, again, I have to do it in my own special way here. I don't know. I'm gonna have to switch this to 2 minutes. This might be a little too quick. Yeah, this is a little too quick. Yeah, I'm not that fast. Not with, I could do hands and stuff like that, but not, yeah, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go with 2 minutes on these. I don't like that. I at least gotta get like the hair, head, like, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, I'm just drawing stick figures, you know what I'm saying? All right, sorry, I lost the chat here while I was doing that. Yo, AI viewers at Steamboo. You wanna know something cool? All right. Did I pause that mug? I hope. Hopefully, I did. Oh no, I actually had more time. Ooh. He just let me know I had 1 minute to go. I mean, that's cool. We can work with that. All right, next one. That's funny. How dare you? That's not Jake from State Farm. It's kind of doing this number here. A little snarkiness there. This one's tough, I'm not gonna lie. A little bit of hair, I think. I'm not gonna have too much time. I got 17 seconds. Alright. What's Buddy doing over here? Okay. This one is just really matching where the ears is at. And then kind of taking that there. This is more of a pose than it is an emotion to me. I mean, I'll take it. Definitely interesting with the nose here.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
Well, I can't this. All right. Oh no, it doesn't work. Where is it? Because I'm not active on it? Why is that working? Oh well. Stop looking at my lemonade. Ain't working. Oh, I don't think I put it on there. That's why. Interesting. That was extremely late gaming. I've been got that butt up out of here. But nah, I appreciate it. Hold on 1 second, y'all. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. That was wifey. I had to make sure she was straight. Nothing serious. Alright, we're gonna finish this up here just so I can get myself to sleep. Maybe it's cheating, maybe it's not. I don't know. Alright, same girl here, different pose. I think this is gonna be the last one I do, you guys. For excuse me. For expressions. Alright. Stop in there. Put a little ring there. Boom. That would have been tough if I had to do that one. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Got the hand a little warmed up here for the most part. I'm pretty sure I could do damage if I had more time, but this is one of those things where I just gotta get my brain thinking about things quickly. So we're gonna go with hands next, y'all. So this is the crap I could come up with in 60 seconds. I swear this one looks like a Boondocks character the most. Not that one. This one. What you say? Wish I could have did more with that one. All right. It's also another way when, you know, you can definitely start creating original characters. It's a good way to practice. There's different ideas, what their personality might be, how to exaggerate their features, things like that. I always think that's cool. All right, so we're gonna do 2 minutes, but with hands this time. This will give me a little time to draw a little bit, like with hands a little bit better. And feet, oh boy. Feet. Okay. Uh, you know what? That's a little too long. I thought I knew what I was gonna do with that one, but no. And to block this out first. That's what we're gonna do. Yo, Autumn, what's good with you? Hope you having a good day. Feet can be interesting. Can't even figure out this pose. What is bro doing? Jumping? So I believe I can fly. Alright, yeah, hold on 1 second. My it's calling again. Hold on. Okay, we're back. Let's see. Everything look cool? Okay, cool. I'm gonna snooze these alarms here, you guys, for the, what's the name? Ads. Oh, okay, nothing much. Just got done sketching some chibis, 4 main characters today. Nice. Okay. They may be skipping rope. Possibly. I mean, we could probably give that an option, but nevertheless, it looks weird. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and start with the next one here. Let's play it out. Alright, now we're kind of at some familiar territory here. Yo, what's good with you, that blue? How you doing? Welcome to the stream here. Doing some warm-up sketches here of some hands and feet, all that good stuff. Before I start working on my comic. How are you doing? Oh, bro, got some hair. Over there. Wait, he tooting that hand. All right, the regal feet pose. Okay, snooze these ads on you guys on Twitch here again. This one should be pretty easy. I do these types a lot, so you're really just doing a triangle, really. This type of pose I've been kind of doing since I was a kid with Dragon Ball Z. So this one's pretty familiar. This is once you get to these toes and these crustaceans this dude got over here. That's where it gets a little interesting. Thing curling over. Like that. And he got some slabs on him. Remember that from Courage? Return the slab. Where we going? Okay, this is interesting. I like this. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty tough. Oh, the elegant hand. Oh, I guess I have to draw the nails here. Should do handsome Squidward one day? You know, that wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I should. That'd be funny. Oh, I'm handsome. SpongeBob, hit me again. I mean, if it wasn't kind of her nails a little bit, her thumb over here is kind of gnarly a little bit. Yeah. But that nail saves it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. Uh-oh, ran out of time. Not my best. Definitely did better. Alright. I think that's what we're gonna call it here. Yeah, I'm not doing those toes. I ain't gonna lie, after doing so many toes, it kind of get weirded out by it. I ain't gonna lie. All right. I don't know what those gnarled fingers look like over here, but I tried. Went for elegant, and I gave them tails from the Crypt hands. Yeah, something like that. Gonna skip y'all one more ad over here. But it's our Tales from the Crypt hand. It is ours. From Wicked. Oh man. Yeah, then it all come together. Then it would make sense. All right, not too bad. We got some good sketches out the way here, y'all. I bet. So got these here. Oops. And these here. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, let's move on. Let's try to get back to work here where we left off. No place better than with these hands on this end here. Speaking of gnarled hands. Hey, Charty. Oh, I was gonna tell y'all. Have y'all got that news on the live action Naruto? That's what I meant to say. Looks like it's coming along. It's a real deal spiel. Be honest with you, I could do without it. It's not a requirement. Not a requirement. Put J on over here. There we go. Catch it when he's streaming right there. There we go. He did the vertical style. Nice. Heat wave of 102. Ew, that is major. Woo! Oops. I give y'all a new one that I got, but y'all want to hear that one. That joint is. Yeah. You're better off. You're not even good opening up a window and looking at grass, let alone touching it.
Your own ship. I got my own ship.
Me is it skipping?
Be a quartermaster. Nothing less.
Alright. And as quartermaster, have you any immediate counsel for this type?
It sounds like it's skipping. Let me try another video, make sure it's not the case here. Know some people play. Anybody play the Avatar Legends by any chance?
Hey guys, I promise I'll try not to yap for too long so you can just enjoy the gameplay, and I'll try to have the video broken up into chapters so you can skip ahead if you really want to. I wanted to say, since this is my first Avatar Legends video, that I plan on trying to take the game seriously. So competing in tournaments,
Jake's
posting
video.
YouTube
That's
videos
weird.
and shorts, as well as streaming, if
Yeah,
you'd like
tell
to
him
check
that.
out my Twitch or sub to me on YouTube to see more content.
You sent me something?
Also, feel free to join
Oh.
my Discord if you want to talk about Avatar or play some games. I have all of those links in the description.
I'm turning this down a little bit.
I do have some more beta footage recorded, as well as clips that I may be posting within the near future before the full game releases, so please look forward to that. And I should be streaming regularly.
This trying to remind me of Dragon Ball Z Fighters.
As for the
Where's the
gameplay,
Dragon Ball
let's watch.
Fighters?
If you don't
I always
know,
be
he's
adding a
one
Z
of
all
the
the time.
testers who plays Aang, so he's able to showcase the character quite well. I actually ended up getting something like
Oh, okay.
playing against
I
him
see
because
it, dog.
first time
That look
playing against
good.
A really competent player, and I wanted to perform well, even if it was just for myself at the time. But my
Still
nerves
crazy,
were
bro.
so
Using
low that it was
finger paint. I mean, like your finger to do this. That's
just
crazy.
pounding through people on matchmaking, so I got super excited and nervous playing against him. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the gameplay, and please forgive me for the replay UI. I tried to turn it off every time I started a new one up, but I ended up forgetting a few times. Enjoy.
No, thanks for sending me that, bro. I definitely, if you want me to pull that up in Slice of Art, you know what I'm saying? I definitely got you. Sheesh. Are they using the original voice actors? Because it kind of sounds like them, but like not. Yeah, I don't sound like all this whooshing make me feel like a leaf hurricane's coming. Not even looking at it. Turning it out. I can come up with a better hand. And sheesh.
Stop looking at my lemonade.
The battle is finished. I ain't gonna lie, I'm good. I'm gonna say Corey back. Dang. We about to watch them together, y'all. My boy's still missing. It's all good. He doing his thing. And that's like a part of the fun, man. Now, one person, if y'all learn animation that I highly recommend, we'll watch some of his videos. I feel like Brody, he got this down. Like, if you want to learn how to like animate like an anime style, like you actually want to like do anime for real, bro. Dong Chang he got the sauce, bro. He figured it out in Clip Studio. He's good. I'll be watching him all the time when I want to do like animation, tie downs, anything is animation related. I follow Broski. He's got a lot of good advice. Try to see where I would like to go with here. Oh, that'd be cool. I've never seen animation like animating explosions. I think that'd be cool.
Explosions are pretty cool, I guess. And as an animator, you will be animating several of these in your lifetime. The basic fundamentals of most explosions are the same, so today, let's try animating one. First, we should understand how explosions work. In the beginning, there is a massive and rapid release of energy and pressure, and this can be caused by a chemical reaction or the rupture of a pressurized vessel or some other source. This generates a shock wave that causes additional combustion and explosions, and those cause fire and heat. And this also launches and aerosolizes debris and dust everywhere, creating smoke. But before we start, a quick word from today's sponsor, Wondershare Filmora. If you're interested in becoming a content creator, you will need a video editing software that works for you. Wondershare's new Filmora 15 could be just what you need. And I can tell you that it is one of the easiest to use and fastest to pick up editing software. Here you can watch me trim my footage, and Filmora also allows me to quickly adjust the colors and change the look. For those more exciting action-packed edits, you can quickly add and edit numerous built-in effects to really spice up your footage. For those who deal with information and infographics, Filmora lets you quickly import your data, and it will quickly generate visual graphics and charts to complement it with various options for customization. If you deal with a lot of motion graphics, Filmora's new tools lets you quickly animate objects by drawing their paths and shapes freely, attaching images or other elements to them, and quickly create dynamic follow motion effects. The new version of Filmora also has new AI tools. My favorite is the Smart Cutout to quickly mask out objects, and the Object Remover, which can remove unwanted elements from your video. The new Filmora 15 is feature-packed, so try Filmora with my link below. It's available for Windows, Mac, iOS, and Android. There's a free version, so check it out at no risk and start creating today. Okay, let's get back to drawing. And like always, I'll be using Clip Studio Paint. I'll leave a link of this layout template I use in the description if you want to use it as well.
Yeah, bro's
For the BG,
template
we
be
should create a
dope
line
too.
for
I
our
forgot
ground
about
plane.
that.
This will help us when we animate. And then we can start animating. I'll have the first drawing of the explosion be exposed starting from frame 3 so that the cut starts empty. The first drawing should be that initial release of energy and heat. And I'll be drawing that initial explosion with a red line. We should get the shape into this spiky thing that we have here, with the spikes and zigzags coming from the source at the bottom. Use a mix of both big and small zigzags to give the shape some contrast. We also want the energy to be mostly going upwards, with a bit of the energy going left and right as well. Try to keep the shape irregular, as things like these are really symmetrical in nature. With that done, let's move on to the next drawing. Let's put this on 2s for now, and we can always change the timing later. We should make sure that we have the onion skin turned on for this. And in this drawing, that mass of energy should be expanding and shooting up with some pretty serious strong force. So similar to the previous drawing, we should use a variety of zigzags to create a spiky, forceful shape. This drawing should also be larger than the last one. But remember that most of the energy is still moving upwards, so it should grow in that direction more than the others. Moving on with the next drawing, that explosion shape should grow even bigger. Although that upward movement should be slowing down about now, so the distance that the shape travels should be a bit less. The dust and debris being kicked up should be aerosolizing now, creating smoke clouds. The combustion of fuel can also create smoke, such as with a petrol explosion. Let's add some smoke clouds along the shape of our explosion, and since they are just being formed in this drawing, the clouds should be pretty small and relatively scattered. You can imagine the smoke clouds as a bunch of circular forms sitting on top of each other, so there should be some cloud balls overlapping each other, and they should have some difference in size as well. We'll do a shading pass at the end, but I think this is fine for now. Next, let's add even more smoke forming as the initial expansion of heat and energy starts to slow down and dissipate. Let's draw some bigger smoke clouds, especially at the top. Note that the overall silhouette of our explosion is constantly expanding, again mostly upwards, but also towards the left and right as well. For most places, I would like to keep the smoke shape still slightly spiky to show that upward force of the initial explosion continuing. There are still some fiery parts from the initial explosion, and I'll mark that with a red line. Also, when drawing the smoke, it's a good idea to keep in mind the form and to draw it with 3D depths by layering the shapes. We can add further form when we do the shading pass. Alright, let's keep going. The next drawing should be mostly smoke now as the original explosion loses most of its energy. The overall shape of the explosion should still be moving upwards mostly, but at a much slower rate now. We'll have the smoke expanding outwards in a shape similar to a tree, where it moves upwards but also expanding left and right. In particularly powerful explosions, sometimes the smoke moves in a circular pattern as the air pocket created by the initial explosion creates a vacuum, sucking in airborne particulate matter. Let's also add some more smoke balls in the front so that they stack on top of each other, creating a sense of 3D form. I also want to leave some spaces in the cloud so that just a little bit of that initial heat and combustion can be seen, and I'll color these in temporarily. Moving on, the next drawing should be all smoke now.
Something real quick.
We'll
Hold on one
continue
second.
to have the smoke billow outwards, like a tree. The space in between the drawings should be much smaller now as the whole explosion is just about settling down. With the big smoke cloud, generally the part of the cloud on the edges will move slower, while those balls of smoke near the bottom, essentially where the source of the explosion was, will move much faster. We can create this movement by varying the spacing that all the different smoke balls move. When drawing, a good tip is to keep flipping between your different drawings to check how the forms are changing between the different frames and to see how well your movement is working. Make sure to keep track of those smoke balls so that they don't randomly disappear or appear from nowhere. The animation here is also getting slightly too big. It's going out of the frame, so I'll just scale that down a bit. You can't do this drawing on paper. For the next drawing, which I think will also be the last, we'll have the smoke cloud continue to expand outwards. The explosion at this point is essentially out of energy and only the smoke is left, which in this situation would generally smolder for a while in real life. So let's draw the cloud slightly expanded around the edges. The smoke is still moving, but really slowly. And like before, the balls of smoke in the center and especially at the bottom should be moving faster than the ones at the edges. With that drawn, we are going to need to time this. The explosion is mostly fine on 2s, but that smoke needs a couple of in-betweens to slow it down. Maybe we can use a timing like this, which may be 3 to 5 drawings between drawing 5 and 6, and a lot more between 6 and 7. The smoke cloud is essentially going to start relatively fast and then start slowing down. And playing it back, I think we can give the animation a bit more impact by putting drawing 3 on 1s instead of 2s, so that the explosion grows with just a bit more force. The animation is also pretty basic at the moment, but we can add some things to spice it up. For example, we can add some debris that gets kicked up in the initial explosion, and this can add some realism and really show off the strength of that initial energy of the explosion. We can just draw this with some basic large geometric shapes for the larger pieces, and we can use smaller dots for the smaller debris.
That looks pretty cool.
I think that looks nice. Another thing we can add to spice things up is with that initial shockwave of the explosion that precedes all the fire and smoke. Creating a new drawing at the beginning of the animation, we can draw that like so, using a bunch of vertical lines to stand in for that shockwave. Let's add another drawing with the shockwave expanding and getting bigger. Keep those lines long and straight to really get across that feeling of force. For the drawing with the initial combustion, we can also add some lines for the shockwave, but shorter and less dense now as it starts to lose energy. We'll keep going with the shockwave and add some to the next drawing as well. We want this to slowly dissipate. For the next drawing, some more shockwave lines could be nice. Just a little though, we want the shockwave to disappear starting from here. And playing this back, I think the shockwave starts just a little bit slow. So I think putting the first and second drawing with the shockwave on 1s instead of 2s should give the animation the kick it needs. And I think that looks pretty good.
Dope, man.
Next, we should give our animation a shadow pass. Drawing the shading and adding shadows will help this read much clearer and will give the smoke especially much more 3D form. First, for the
I always want to know how to like do
I want to
like
color that in
explosions,
with a
bro.
yellow color just to differentiate it. Let's put the shaded colors on a separate layer so that it is easier to edit if we need to.
Yo, just
And we'll
imagine
continue to use
that'd be
together
like my
the
starting
focus
soon
on
as
that
soon as like
explosion.
it happens, I come
For the
in
smoke,
and
I
whatnot.
generally
That
like
joint
to
would
use
be
the
hot, I ain't
color
gonna
to
lie.
shape that in. We can just use the brush tool to quickly paint in the forms of those clouds. Think of the smoke as a bunch of 3D balls, and we just add the shadows needed to get that shape across.
Yeah, that's actually pretty dope.
There isn't really too much of a science to this, so just try and draw the shadows so that the image is visually appealing. That's really all that there is to this. Alright, let's
pretty
keep
cool.
going for the rest of the drawings. One tip for the shading is that the shadows needs to be consistent between drawings. You can generally use the onion skin tool or be like me and just flip between the drawings so that you can see if the movement of the forms makes sense.
Man, I can't wait to get back on my animation, bro. And there we go. With the shadows, we give form to the smoke cloud, and I think this looks much better. Let's label everything, starting with the first drawing, A1, and we'll keep going with the rest of them. Sheesh.
We should note where we want the in-betweens as well. I think we'll have 3 in-betweens going from A7 to A8, and the first of that in-between can be on 2s.
Probably
the
making that
rest
joint
on
look so
3s.
easy.
In terms of spacing, the in-betweens can be all equidistant, and we can mark that with a
Equidistant.
spacing diagram. And between A8 and A9, we can just fill that space in with in-betweens on 3s. And that comes out to about 7 in-between drawings, so let's mark that with a spacing diagram as well. Again, the in-betweens can all be equidistant. This will make it much easier to draw those in-betweens.
So I'm thinking equidistant means equal
And
distance.
playing it back, it looks pretty good. So for me, I generally leave my animation at this stage, and usually I'll have someone in between them for me. But this time, I think I'll just do a quick rough in-between pass, just so that you can see the whole movement. Since our in-betweens are all equidistant, this is pretty easy to do. Just turn on your onion skin and draw the lines between the two onion skin drawings.
Thing like it's exploding again. It's going whoop, whoop. Like it's like about to barf. Or it's mutating.
Alright, with that done, let's play it back. I think that looks pretty solid.
Dang.
Feel free to add your own touches, of course.
Yeesh.
And if you add an impact frame at the beginning, for example, I think this could look even cooler. The great thing about animation is that there are pretty much an infinite way to draw and animate the same thing. As a bonus, I think we can talk about animating other variants of explosions. Here is a version where the explosion is viewed from the top, with the force of the explosion going towards the camera. You find this variant a lot, actually. The main key drawings are still the same, starting with that same sharp explosion shape, going to a smoke cloud starting around the third drawing or so. The smoke cloud then expands outwards towards the camera, just like before. Animating the smoke cloud from the top is a bit of a challenge, but remember that the cloud balls at the edge move slower, and those in the middle move faster.
Pea flavored water, 15 cents. Come taste my knees, 15 cents.
You got it. Appreciate it.
Alternatively, you see this a lot sometimes as well, where there is no initial combustion that creates the fireball, and
Appreciate the
explosion
water.
just simply kicks up smoke.
Stop looking at my lemonade.
The drawings here are essentially the same, and that
Yo,
initial
you back
explosion
again?
starting
Hey,
shape
welcome
is
back.
still the same, and you can just
Working on
treat it
the
as
manga
smoke
now.
and dust instead. The animation still transitions.
That
and
watching
from
some
smoke
animation
cloud, just like
tutorials
with our
by
initial
Dong Chan. Doing like animation, like animating explosions. Pretty informative, to say the least.
Anyways, that's it. I hope you guys learned something today. And thank you for watching, especially the Patreon and YouTube members. Your support is greatly appreciated and helps keep this channel running. You can help out the channel at the link below, and members get extra content every month. Other than that, check out my socials, and I'll see you next time.
You're the man. Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Oh. What that's what I want to learn is that should be a sound. I should be. Nah, I got what you mean. Oh, this is liquid Sakuga. Want to see some more Dong Chan stuff. Let's see what we got here. I'll take it a little bit more simple. Like, I think that was he has some videos like on how to like just animate with Clip Studio, like the basics. There you go. Animating in Clip Studio Paint. This one's longer, but I think a lot of you guys will like this.
This video is sponsored by Celsius and Clip Studio Paint.
Celsius.
Hi, my name is Dong, and I'm a Canadian animator based in Japan. I worked on many shows including Yojo Senki, Decadence, Blue Giant, One Piece, which had Atelier, and I had used Clip Studio Paint in all of those. Clip Studio Paint is the most popular animation software in the Japanese animation industry, and today I want to show you how you too can create amazing animation with it. I will be using the new version 4 of Clip Studio Paint today, and it contains some new features for animators that I will be using. If you don't have Clip Studio Paint, you can go to the Clip Studio Paint website and give the free trial a try. It's fully featured and you can use that to follow this video and see how you like the software. Today we are going to animate this, a short and
Ducky,
quick
what's good with you, man?
scene. Alright, let's open up
Hey,
the
don't feel
software.
bad. I'm glad to have you in here.
New, and let's create a new file. Under project, you want to click on the animation button. There are a couple presets here already, and if you select the 1920 by 1080 preset, you should be set for most animation work. Under timeline, set the frame rate to 24, and you can set the playback time to set the length of our animation.
We ain't doing
I like to
nothing but
change the
working
playback time
on
display to seconds plus frames,
Manga
and we
again
can set it
here.
at around
So
3
yeah, man,
seconds.
you straight, bro.
We can then hit OK to create the file. Here, the blue frame is our actual animation frame. When we export what is in that frame. And everything outside of it is just extra space essentially. While we can start animating here and now, I personally use what is called a layout template in all of my animation. They look something like this, with the peg goes at the top and a frame for our animation. While optional, I find this helped me to organize my drawings, and if you would like to use this, we have to set up our file slightly differently. I'll go through the steps, and I'll put a link in the description for a template file you can use. Okay, let's create a new file again, and you will need to set the output frame width at 2005 pixels and the height at 1128 pixels. Then at the bottom, set the blank space to 0. Then enable the overflow frame. Change the option to specified size here and change the width to 2334 and the height to 1658. This is the size of a 200 dpi A4 piece of paper essentially. Finally, offset the y-axis by 8 pixels. Hit OK. Then we are going to find our layout template and copy and paste that into our created file. Let's organize it a bit and drag that newly created layer above our paper layer in the layer view on the right and give it a name. Layout template for example. Then we want to open up our timeline and you can find the button at the bottom here. We can also select the paper and layout template in either the layer view or the timeline and lock them. We don't need to touch those layers. And now we have the software set up for animation. Before drawing, I would like to further customize the interface and some of the hotkeys to make using the software easier and more efficient. Again, this is an optional step, and if there is a setup or hotkey that you personally prefer to use, I recommend you do that. First, let's right-click on our timeline and set the thumbnail size to none. I find that the thumbnails take up too much space generally, and since we are still on the timeline, I generally like to color code my layers. By selecting the pre-created animation folder and hitting the button on the top left in our layer view, we can assign it a color. Then, if we click on the timeline option button here, go to Show Palette Color, we can enable Show Palette Color on clips to have it show up in our timeline. For our color selection here, I like to use the Color Set mode, which you can access by clicking on this tab here. The default color set has everything we need for basic animation, and you can always add your own colors. The shortcut for the brush tool is B, but so is the airbrush and decoration tool. If we keep hitting B, it just cycles between them. I personally don't like this interaction, so to turn it off, I will remap some hotkeys. Go to File, Shortcut Settings, select the Tools option under Category, select the airbrush, and hit Delete Shortcut. And do the same for the decoration tool. Then I like to set a shortcut for the Go to Next Cell and Previous Cell function. Under the Menu Commands category,
right now
go
we're
to
just creating a little
Animation and
scanner
select
here.
the Select Previous and Next Cell functions, and add a shortcut for them. I personally use the 1 and 2 key, respectively. I also prefer to use the Control key as a shortcut to rotate my canvas. To set that up, go to File, Modifier key Settings, and where it says Control, hit the Settings button and set it to Move, Rotate, and hit OK. Now, when we hold Control, we can rotate our canvas by clicking and dragging. This works in the same way with holding space and dragging to pan our canvas. And we can also use the mouse wheel or Control plus or Control minus to zoom in and out of our canvas. We also need a shortcut to reset that rotation. So go back to the shortcut settings menu and under the menu commands, go to View and add a shortcut for the reset rotation function. I like to use Control R. Note that this unbinds the Show Rulers hotkey. People often ask about the brush I use, and while I do think the default brushes are all really good, I do use a custom one as my main pencil brush. If you would like to use the brush that I use, click the Clip Studio button to open the launcher, go to Clip Studio Assets, filter by pens and brushes, and there are a bunch of user-created brushes you can download into the software. I personally use this one. It's called Animator Senyo Ryorufu Enpitsu Shanai no Hito Kanshuban. This was created by user Toyden. It's an animator
I don't know what he just said.
for and by animators. The content ID is
That's
here
crazy,
if you
though.
want to search it up. Now click download. Once it is finished downloading, we can enable the asset menu on the right here.
That's what
Click
the
folders
animators
to
using,
open
y'all.
up the asset browser and go to the download folder. Find the file we downloaded and drag it into our brush subtool menu on the left. Alright, we can start drawing now. First, let's take a look at how animation works in Clip Studio Paint. Clip Studio Paint has two types of folders, normal ones and animation folders that you can create by clicking the new animation folder icon here. One is already created by default and they are the equivalent of animation layers in other software. You can also create normal folders by clicking on the new folder icon here, and we can add a new raster layer into that folder by clicking on the raster layer icon here. Normal folders are incapable of being animated and act like a held drawing. Hit the B button to select our brush and we can draw something here. You can adjust the brush size and properties in the Property tab at the left. And I set the size to 3 pixels for myself. In an animation folder, each root layer or root folder inside of it acts as an individual animation drawing or cell. So we can draw something like this on the one layer inside the animation folder, hit the new animation cell button here, and this creates a layer named 2, and this will be our 2 cell drawing. We can draw something different on here, and then we can create another cell drawing. And remember that the cells can be either a layer or a folder, and we can drag the 3 layer into the folder icon to put it into a folder. If we make the cell drawing into a folder, we have all the advantages of folders, such as being able to stack multiple layers together. We can also change which drawing is being exposed by right-clicking on the animation folder in the timeline, and we can choose between the 1, 2, or 3 drawing to expose. We can also select the drawings in the timeline and drag them around to change their timing.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
We can delete drawings in the timeline by right-clicking on them and clicking delete. If we don't want any drawings exposed, we can click on this box at the top right of our timeline and pull that back to change the exposure. We can also grab and drag this top part to move all the drawings at once. Remember to use the next and previous cell shortcut we created to navigate the timeline. Remember, we put those on the 1 and 2 key. And those are the basics. Let's select our folders in the layer view and delete them by clicking the trash icon, and now we can actually start animating. First, let's create a normal folder and create a raster layer within it. So I personally use raster, but if you prefer vector instead, Clip Studio Paint has great vector features as well. This folder will be our layout or BG layer, and I'll double click on it and rename it as so. With the layer selected in the folder that we created, let's select the figure tool, which lets us draw lines and create a ground plane for our character to move in. Hold the shift key down to draw a straight line. Then let's create an animation folder and let's name it A, as this will be our A cell. Hit the new animation cell button here. Let's drag the one layer that was created inside the animation folder into a normal folder. Then let's give each folder a color to help organize those. Alright, Hit B to select our brush and let's start drawing. The E key is the shortcut for the eraser and I'll be using that quite a lot. Ctrl Z to undo is also a very important shortcut to use. Let's start rough, drawing our characters in our starting neutral pose, starting with the shape for our head and extending the neck and the body from there. The drawing
Sorry if
is
I'm
looking
getting
a bit
quiet, you
wonky,
guys.
so
I'm
to scale
into
that down,
listening
we
to
can
this
quickly
video
edit,
and
transform,
drawing at the same
scale,
time.
rotate to adjust the size and position of the drawing. The shortcut for transform is Ctrl T, and we will also be using that quite a lot.
What if you guys are also working like on comics and stuff? Probably so.
And make sure that our
Probably all
character's
doing the
feet
same thing.
are sitting on that line in our layout.
Sometimes that's just how it be.
Now with all the limbs in there, we have a rough character drawn out. From here, let's add the details, starting with the face. Let's add a horizontal line for our eyes to rest on, and slowly work up the character from there. Feel free to use your own design for this. I am kind of just making things up as I go. The eyes are generally halfway up the face, and the mouth is halfway between the eyes and chin. I like to have the nose closer to the eyes to make the facial features look cuter. Then let's add the hair. A little short bob would work nice and would be easy to animate. And after that, let's draw her clothing. I think those sailor style dresses would look cute on her. This is rough animation, so keep those lines quick and loose. We will be cleaning up the animation later.
Work got me tired a little bit.
Another
We out here,
useful
though.
tool is
We out
the
here.
lasso tool. With it selected, we can isolate our character's hand, for example, hit Ctrl T to transform it, and shift it around a bit. To me, her arms feel a tad too long here. Here's a quick tip. Go to Edit, Transform, Puppet Warp to use the new Puppet Warp function. Click on our drawing to place some pins. I usually like to put these on our character's joints. And we can click on the pins to move that part of the drawing. This way we can quickly modify our character's pose. Alright, let's finish up the drawing.
This is some more technical liquefy tool. Like I'm at stand up, y'all. Starting to get a little sleepy. Woo!
With our initial pose finished, let's do the final ending pose next. Let's create a new animation cell and we can turn on our onion skin here to see the previous drawing. We can change the onion skin settings under animation, show animation cells, onion skin settings. I generally like to lower its opacity to make drawing over it easier. Alright, let's get drawing. I want her to stand on one leg with her left arm up doing the peace sign. Using the first drawing as reference, let's make sure all her volumes are consistent and let's rough out the pose. Make sure to hit the 1 and 2 keys often to flip between our animation cells whilst drawing. The drawing is a bit
That's
too
better.
big and her hand is out of frame, so let's select the whole animation folder and hit Ctrl T to use our transform tool to scale down both of our drawings at the same time. And there we go, now she sits in frame. And same thing like before, once we have her rough shape down, let's add the details,
There we go.
starting with the head. Remember to use the onion skin to keep volumes consistent, flip through your drawings often, and make use of the lasso tool combined with the transform function to quickly move and resize parts of the drawing.
That's one thing I love about a standing desk, man. All you gotta do is just sit up. Or stand up. That's it, sit up.
With that done, next we should get an anticipation pose in there. This is where our character poses back before shooting up with her arm. It's always important to anticipate your movement in the
So I
opposite
feel like this has
direction
got
to give
me.
it extra impact. Let's drag the A2 drawing to the right a bit to create some space. And between those two drawings, let's create a new cell. And selecting this new cell, the 1A cell, let's turn on the onion skin and draw that anticipation pose. We want her whole body to be slightly crouched down here, including having her legs bent.
Man, that's kind of crazy.
Let's keep her
It
arms
still
folded
only got me.
as
It
she
only got me
prepares
an
to
eye
throw
level.
those hands up.
That's crazy.
And for her expression, let's have her eyes closed here. Alright, let's finish her up.
I'm tall, but dang. Okay, that's a little better. Okay.
And we're finished. Next, we need a drawing for our character as she overshoots her final pose. This will also give a greater impact to our movement. Let's create a new cell, and looking at the onion skin and flipping between this and the final pose, we want this character to be at a higher position than that final pose. So here, the legs and arms would be straighter, and the torso and head would also be at a higher position. So let's draw that out. I also want to keep her hair and dress compressed a bit so that the movement feels less rigid. Alright, let's finish this drawing up. With our drawings done, let's flip through them and take a look. I think the movement feels good. Let's also label everything. The first drawing will be A1, the next is A2, then A3, and A4. Then we can rename the drawings in the timeline by going into the animation menu, edit track, rename in timeline order. Then we can add a little spacing diagram. We need that for when we draw our in-betweens. Two in-betweens between A1 and A2 should be fine, and we'll have one at the halfway point and one at the 3/4 position. One in-between going into A3, which is favoring or being closer to A3, should be fine, and one in-between going into and favoring A4 should also work. Alright, now let's time it out in our timeline. I'll select drawings 2 to 4 and drag them around so that drawing A2 is at frame 13. Then at frame 7, I'll right click on the timeline and create an in-between track label to mark where I want that in-between. These track labels don't actually do anything, and it's just a planning thing. I'll do the same at frame 10, making that part of the animation on 3s, as each drawing is exposed for 3 frames. Then I'll move A3 to frame 18 and add an in-between label to frame 16. This one will be on 2s to make that movement faster. Then A4 can be moved to frame 24, and that in-between can be placed at frame 21, going back to our animations being on 3s again. We can also trim the scene by taking the timeline marker at the end and dragging that to the left.
I mean, another thing.
And if we play it
Ooh.
back by hitting the play button, we
Check it
can
out here in a
visualize
second.
our scene much better. Before we can start cleanup, there is a step called tie downs that might be necessary depending on your situation. If your drawing is extremely rough, it can be hard to clean up. And what animators here do is to do a tie down pass, essentially a rough cleanup so that the gap from rough to clean isn't that huge. I always do this in my professional work as I need to send off my animation to be cleaned up by a junior animator, and they will have issues tracing my lines if they are all over the place. But for personal work where you are cleaning up your own animation, you may choose to skip this step if you are confident that you can clean up your own lines. For this video, I would just show you the tie-down process for the A1 drawing to show you guys how it works. Alright, let's lower the opacity of our line work layer in the layer window near the top. Then let's create a new raster layer on top, and using our rough line work layer as reference, let's try and redraw it with a simplified and clean line. Remember that this is still technically part of rough animation, so it's not necessary to be super clean. We just need to make sure the drawing is easier to trace in the actual cleanup.
I'm checking it out now. Ooh, okay. A little update here. That's pretty cool, dog.
In the tie down, I also
Mixed
like to show
voids.
the underlying elements, such as the body under
Voids,
the character's
loud
dress.
voids, and mixed
I
voids.
don't mark these with an orange line so that I know not to trace
Sweet.
that line in the cleanup, but they will still be useful during in-betweening. We can hide the original rough drawing once this is done. And with that done, next let's add some shading. I'll add a layer under our line work to draw color separation lines, and we can select the red and blue colors in our color set to use as our color separation lines. Note that Clip Steel Paint has two different colors you can set as the active color, and you can click on either one to select and activate them. And I'll load blue as one of our colors and red as the other one. You can also use the keyboard shortcut X to toggle between those two. I'll use the red color to indicate highlights and the areas for the eye whites, for example, and I'll use the blue to draw where the shadows are. Let's keep the rest of the shadows minimalistic for this. Just a little bit on her hair and face, and a little bit scattered around the rest of the body where it makes sense. Next, let's create a new layer under our color separation lines, and let's select some new colors. Maybe a green, and let's use that to color in the hair shadow color. An orange color could work for the skin shadows, a yellow for the highlights, and let's use a light blue for the other shadows. This way we can keep everything color-coded and easy to read. And our character is looking much nicer now. Next, let's do the shading for the rest of our drawings. Nice! Now all our drawings have their shadows and highlights drawn in. Next is the cleanup step. Let's create a new animation folder and let's name it A Clean. We'll give it a color as well. We'll create a new cell and put that in a folder. We can turn off the BG layout layer and the layout template for this, and just use the white paper layer. Let's select our rough animation folder and let's lower the opacity on that. Then we want to select the pen tool and let's use the default G pen to do our cleanup. Let's change some settings first. Make sure that we have the black color selected, reduce the brush size to 2 pixels, turn off the anti-aliasing by clicking on the button on the left, turn off adjust by speed, and open up the brush dynamics option window here and turn off brush pressure and tilt. We want this to be a clean, uniform, mechanical line. And to clean up, we just draw on top of our rough animation. The shortcut for the pen tool is the P key. If you're having difficulties drawing a clean, smooth line, I recommend using the curve tool. Click on the figure tool, select the curve subtool, and change the brush size to 2 and turn off the anti-aliasing. Click and hold at the center point, move the cursor to the ending point, release, adjust the curvature by moving the cursor, and then click once more to finalize the line. This can be a much quicker way to clean up longer lines. The shortcut for the figure tool is U. We need to use an alias line when cleaning up, as this will help with the cell painting process and will be useful during compositing as well. Alright, let's clean up the rest of the drawing, alternating between using the pen and line tool. Note that when we use our eraser, make sure to turn off the eraser's anti-aliasing as well.
I think I'd like to start Slice of Art a little earlier here, you guys. How about let's start in the next 15 minutes. In this case, normally I would start it at
remember
what?
to label the drawing. A1 in this
He's
case.
gonna do it what at 10?
With the black line work done,
I think what I'm gonna
let's
do
clean up
is
the
we're gonna.
separation line as well.
I ain't really cutting the
What
stream
we do
short.
later
I would still be
underneath
streaming
our
the same amount of
black
time. I came in
line,
at
and using the
7:30,
same principle, let's trace
8:30,
over the
9:30,
blue
10.
and red
We'll go with
lines.
10:30. Yeah. So I mean, we could, you know what? Scratch that. We'll still do Slice of Art at 10 o'clock. We'll still do it at 10 o'clock. My bad, Kingdom. I forgot about that. I was thinking 10 o'clock in my brain. I'm like, yeah, I might as well do it 15 minutes earlier because I just want to raid and dip. So we'll do it at 10. Top of the hour, y'all. Top of the morning. Top of the morning. Top of the
And
morning.
with that complete, let's repeat this process for the rest of the drawings.
Stop looking at my lemonade.
Note that in cleanup, we need to renumber our drawings. The rough A2 drawing becomes A4 after cleaning it up, as those two in-between drawings will become the new A2 and A3 drawings respectively. Alright, let's keep going. Cool, now our drawings are clean. Let's draw the in-betweens next. Let's draw the in-between for A2, which is at the halfway point between A1 and A4. Remember, we rename drawings between the rough and clean animation steps. We'll create a new animation cell, and let's turn on the onion skin, and using the pen and curve tool, let's draw that halfway intermediate drawing. Make sure to flip often and that the line we draw is at the middle of the drawing to the left and to the right of it. And here for the eyes, they will also be in a halfway closed position. Alright, let's finish the rest. For the hands, they move quite a lot, so you will often have to guess at what kind of pose they will be in. As you gain more experience in in-betweening, you will get a greater grasp of drawing things like this. And let's draw the color separation line in as well in another layer. Let's draw the next in between. This one will be halfway between the drawing we just drew and A4. So same principle, turn on the onion skin and draw those lines in the middle between our two onion skin lines. And let's keep her eyes closed here. Take your time and make sure that there are no gaps and to keep those lines closed. And with that done, let's keep going. For the next in-between, if we check the spacing chart on our roughs, this one favors the ending drawing, meaning it will be closer in spacing to it. Alright, let's turn on the onion skin, but this time let's draw that line at the 1/3 position, closer to the green onion skin line. And same thing with the hand and fingers, we'll keep all the lines favoring the A6 ending pose. Next, moving on to the last in-between drawing, same concept with the previous drawing, we need to favor the ending pose here. Let's turn on our onion skin and make sure that our lines are closer to the green onion skin lines.
This part could be a complete waste of time. I'm trying to add speed lines because this is a belt. So I'm wondering if I do it this way, will it, I don't know, will it give it a different feeling? Probably not. I might just end up keeping it solid black. This is a test.
And once we're done with our line work, playing it back, we can see she moves pretty smoothly. Let's fix up the
Nah,
naming in
I don't like it. That's
So
kind of
let's
like
go
it's
to
moving super
animation,
fast.
edit track,
I don't want
and
to.
rename in
I
timeline
want to make it
order.
like it's going like super
And now
fast.
everything is properly named. We can start cell painting now. Let's select the clean animation folder and right click, duplicate. Let's give it a new color, and we can double click on it to rename it something like A color. We can hide the old A clean folder. Then we need to create the color palette for our character. Let's click on this edit color set button in our color set view, and we can create a new set of colors. Let's give it a name. Then all we do is double click on our selected color to open up the color picker, pick the color we want, and here let's do her skin color first, select it and hit OK. Then right click on an empty square in our color set and hit replace color. Next, we also need a shadow color for the skin tones. So let's select that and replace the color set next to our normal skin tone. Moving on, we need a color for her hair, the hair shadow and the hair highlights. And let's repeat this process for all the colors that we need. Here's the set for the eye whites, eye white shadow, eye highlight. One for the pupil, pupil shadow, pupil highlight. One for the dress and dress shadow. One for the white area of the dress, a set for her scarf, and a set for her shoe and shoe shadow color. Let's create a new layer for painting under the black line work layer, but above the color separation layer. To paint in our drawing, we use the fill tool. Click on it or use the hotkey G, and under the subtool, let's make sure that we have refer other layers selected. In the settings, we want to disable close gap, set the tolerance to 0, turn off area scaling, and at the bottom, let's turn off
ads. Dang it.
Then we can grab our skin tone color and fill in the areas that should be skin. To paint in the skin shadow color, let's select the color separation line layer, turn on set as draft layer, and select our paint layer again. If you open up the refer multiple option for our fill tool, you can see that it is set to exclude draft layers, meaning we can fill in the shadow color and paint over the blue color separation lines at the same time. Now we just do this for the other colors. To paint in the hair, let's disable the draft layer option on our color separation line layer and painting the main hair color on our color layer. And when we need to paint in the shadows and highlights, we can turn on the draft layer option. To check for areas that you might have missed in painting, you can turn off the white paper layer. This gives us a checkerboard pattern for areas that haven't been painted in. For things with a lot of detail, like the eyes, you might want to manually paint in the color separation lines, and also use the pen tool when needed to get the areas where the color separation lines intersect working. And that's about the gist of it, and now we just need to paint in the rest of the drawing. And that's our first drawing down, 7 more to go.
You're never touching grass. Excuse me.
If you're having issues painting using the fill tool, make sure to check that your line work is closed and without any gaps. And with that done, we can play back our animation. And yeah, it looks nice. Let's export it. For me personally, I generally would take this animation and I would continue to do compositing on another software. To do this, we can go to File, Export Animation Cells, and we can set the folder to where it exports to. And for the file name format, I would select animation folder name plus number and set the file format to Targa, as it is what is used in the industry. We can also set the export range to the entire canvas. Hit OK, and every drawing gets exported into their own image Targa file. Check out my video on anime compositing to see how to take this further.
Oh yeah, bro can go far with it, man.
Alternatively, we can export an image sequence, which some people prefer to use. Under Export Animation, select Image Sequence. We can change the export location, we can change the prefix name, and we can set the starting number. I generally prefer this to start out 1 instead of 0, and we can change the file type to PNG, which is pretty popular to use. For the size settings, again, we can either export the entire canvas, which will help with compositing, or you can just export the blue animation frame. Hit OK, and it exports an image sequence. We can then take this into our favorite compositing software. The advantage of an image sequence over exporting animation cells is that it is already timed out. If you don't want to do any compositing and just want to finish in Clip Studio Paint, we need to smooth out our alias line first. To do that, let's duplicate the A color animation folder, and we can give it a different color and rename it A Smooth. To smooth our drawing, select the drawing folder, 1 in this case, right-click and hit Merge Selected Layers, then go to Filter, Blur, Smoothing. We need to do this for all of our drawings, and to make this easier, we can record an Auto Action macro. Find the Auto Action tab and drag it out to make it easier to use. Hit the button at the bottom to create a new Auto Action set, and let's rename it Smoothing. Hit the red Record button, and let's repeat what we did. Select the To folder, merge it, smooth it, then hit the shortcut we used for selecting the next animation cell, which we set to the To key earlier. Hit the Stop button, and then hit the Play button to play out our macro until all of our drawings are smooth. Then go to File, Export Animation, and select Movie. Find a place to save it and give it a name. Hit Save, and we have the options for scaling and the frame rate. Here, Clip Studio Paint automatically scales our animation to 1920 by 1080, and we can leave it as is. Hit OK, and this creates a lightweight MP4 file you can play back. And we're done. Our animation looks pretty nice, I think. There's a sense of weight in her movement, and the way she moves just feels right. And that concludes this video. I hope you all learned something. If I missed something or if you have questions, please leave a comment. This channel is supported by my Patreon and YouTube members, and thank you guys. Without you, I wouldn't have been able to make these videos possible. If you'd like to support the channel, links are down below. Supporters get extra content every month, including extra videos and behind the scenes look into my professional work. Other than that, check out my socials, and I'll see you next time.
Ah, 常広さん辞めちゃうんですか？
This is a shot of mine from the Negapose the Angler anime, and if you have wondered how a shot like this is done, I'll show you step by step. My name is Dong, and I'm a Canadian animator based in Japan. Today, I want to run you through my full process reanimating a short scene that I did a while ago up until the tie-down stage. Spoilers ahead, so watch out. Thank you to Kadokawa and Nut for helping with this. This scene in particular isn't particularly difficult, and I think it makes a good day project. If you want to follow along and draw this yourself, I will put the relevant files and templates for this in the description below. Before we start, a quick word from this video sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning platform with many world-class professionals and successful entrepreneurs that host classes and teach about various subjects that span categories like art and illustration, design, photography, and many others. If there is a subject you are interested in, you can probably find classes on it on Skillshare. You can learn directly from real, talented, and successful creatives. I've been using Skillshare for a couple of months now, and I've been taking artist Brent Evanston's figure drawing class in my spare time. Figure drawing is an essential skill for all artists and is an important part of improving as one. I had recently picked back up figure drawing, and Brent's classes had helped me get the refresher I need and reintroduced me to many important aspects of figure drawing, such as getting down the primary action line, figuring out where the axis lines are in the human body, and I think Brent is also a good teacher on human anatomy. You can see me taking Brent's classes now, and Skillshare made this possible. I would recommend this course to my fellow artists. If you want to try it out for yourself, the first 500 people to use my link in the description or scan the QR code will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Get started today.
Okay.
First of all,
Yes,
before
sir.
we start, we need to look at the storyboards, the ekonte. In this sequence, the main character, Tsunehiro, is quitting his part-time job and his friends are having a little party with him. Kozue enters the room and pretends to be angry. She walks towards camera while delivering her lines. She says, "Ah, Tsunehiro-san wa yamechau desu ka?" Tsunehiro-san, are you quitting? So one thing I learned during my undergrad years is acting. When I was in Sheridan College's animation program, we all had to take mandatory acting classes. I think these help out a lot when animating. I always recommend you try to act out a scene before you start animating it. You can do this in front of a mirror where you can record yourself. It's important to get into the mind of your character and figure out how your character moves before putting pen on paper. Aww, Tsunehiro-san wa yamechau desu ka? I'll be animating in Clip Studio Paint, and the file has been partially set up. As an animator, especially if you work in anime, you often have to draw your own layouts. Fortunately, this room that the scene takes place in already has a 3D model created for it, and we can just use that as our layout. The 3D artist has already rendered and placed this for us, and should save us a bunch of time. I'll lower the opacity on this and we can just leave it as is for now. This will still get painted over when the backgrounds are created though, and the model is mainly just for reference. Let's first start with the starting pose of Kozue. She is facing screen left in a pouting pose. I have her designs on a separate monitor, and I look at those while I draw, and I recommend you do the same. On the A animation folder under drawing 1, I can start roughing out the pose. I like to work fast and loose, and there is always opportunity to tighten your drawing later. But right now, the movement takes priority. I have the shorthand for drawing humans and their heads especially that I like to use, and it involves roughing out the main skull shape and extending the jaw from it while marking the halfway line, as well as the eye line. Kozue's eyes are big and tall, and they rest lower in the skull. It's important to study your design documents before you draw, so that you can get your drawings as close as you can to the designs. We can then place her eyes and the rest of her features. I like to get that mouth a bit off to the side so that it has more of a pouting feel. Let's then slowly add up the details and add her hair in as well. Again, for hair, make sure to study the designs well to get a feel for how they layer together. We can then finish up the rest of the line work by adding some details to her uniform. Moving on, for the next pose, let's draw her beginning her walk. Here she will be facing camera with her face tilted up. Let's get the shape of the face in there and rough out the features. Because she is walking towards the camera, she should be getting bigger in the frame as she gets closer to the camera. The way I interpret this scene is that Kozue is being sarcastically sad, making fun of or teasing Tsunehiro essentially, which she sometimes does. So I would like to catch that expression. Let's get some details in there and move on to the body. I want to have her screen left shoulder be more closer to the camera than the right, as she is walking, and when you walk, you often swing your arms. I want to actually leave her hair for later, as I want to add some secondary action to it. Next, we need a drawing to link the two we just drew, because the movement is too big to leave to the in-betweener to connect. Making sure to use the onion skin tool to match up the poses, I want her to anticipate the movement. So, as she turns her head around, she also tilts it down. Drawing in the features, I also want her eyes closed here. Again, in anticipation. I want a bit of a squash and stretch thing going here. Alright, let's get the rest of her body in there. And we can just leave her hair for later. We really just want to get the main movement in here for now. Now let's continue with that walking towards the camera part of the animation. This scene is actually 4 seconds if we look at the boards, so let's extend our timeline to accommodate that. We should also label our drawings. I also want to take a look at the timesheet, and you will need to fill in one of these whenever you animate classically. For this episode, the voice acting was already recorded, and the Inshitsu, my episode director, already had filled in the dialogue column for me originally. So Kozue here starts at drawing A1 and takes until frame 10 to get into her anticipation pose. And there will be 2 in-betweens there on threes. I plan for this whole animation to be on threes. Then she goes into A3 where she begins walking at frame 16, with 1 in-between at frame 13. Also, regarding the walk, this is how I am planning it. There will be essentially 2 key drawings per step, with one being at the high passing position of the walk, where one leg is fully extended, and one at the lowest down position of the walk, with her legs firmly planted. And this will just repeat until the end of the scene. The time of her walk will be at 18 frames a step, so a relatively relaxed walk. She is in no hurry. Let's plan that out in our timesheet. So from drawing A3, the high position, we need 2 in-betweens on threes, and then we go into drawing A4, the low position, and then we need 2 more in-betweens going into drawing A5, and we repeat. We only need 1 in-between going from drawing A11 to A12 so that we can fit drawing A12 into the scene. Alright, let's continue drawing. Kozue here in drawing A4 is in the down position of her walk here, and she will be lower in the frame, as well as being slightly bigger since she is walking towards the camera at the same time. If we refer back to the timesheet, she is saying ah here, so we need to have her mouth open. Note that her shoulders here should be relatively level in the drawing, as this is where her arms meet in the middle during the walk. Next is drawing A5. Here she is at the high point of her walk with her legs extended. I also want to add some left-right movement to her walk just to keep it looking more interesting. She is still saying the words ah in this drawing, so let's keep her mouth open. Going into drawing A6, I want to break up the repetition of our previous drawings a bit to help add some visual interest. Let's have her anticipate the next drawing by having her lower in the frame with her head facing down. Let's have her eyes closed as well in anticipation. Referring back to the timesheet to check the dialogue, she should have her mouth closed here. Next is drawing A7. Here she is back again at the high position of her walk. Her screen left shoulder should be closer to the camera. Looking at the timesheet, she says ne as in Tsunehiro, and if we mouth it out, she should have her mouth open in a half open position. Drawing 8 is the down position. Kozue says sa here, and her mouth should be in the fully open position. I have her head tilted down a bit, so she is looking up slightly. Always look for opportunities with character acting to add visual interest and to make the movement more realistic. Next is drawing a 9. Kozue is getting pretty close to the camera now. Here she moves a little distance screen right, and she is also higher in the frame, with her screen right shoulder closer to the camera. Checking the timesheet, she is saying meh in this frame, so let's keep her mouth in a half open position. Let's keep going with drawing a 10. As I'm animating, I made sure to subtly change the angle of our character's head as she is moving to give the movement more visual depth. Here she is tilting her head down a bit. If she had her head in the same angles throughout the scene, the movement will look very stiff. In the timesheet, she says so her mouth will be in the closed position. I want to give Kozue this kind of pursed mouth shape because I think that looks really cute on her. Drawing A11 has Kozue in the high position.
Hey, Keeman, drop the Discord link one more time. Everybody, if you got any drawings you want to show your boy, drop it in the Discord under Slice of Art. Definitely would like to check it out. So,
Checking the timesheet.
wake up call, wake up call.
Closed here.
We got Slice of Art coming up in 5 minutes.
Lastly, we have drawing A12, and here she is a bit lower in the frame, but is also
Appreciate that,
pretty large on the canvas. Note that with how perspective works, characters moving towards the camera will become bigger exponentially the closer they are relative to the camera. And again, I wanted to draw her head tilted down so that we can keep that feeling of her pretending to be sad. Checking the timesheet, she says ah, and her mouth should be fully open. Playing back our work in progress, and yeah, I think it looks alright. Let's continue and finish drawing Kozue's hair, starting with drawing A2 and making sure to reference the design. We can start adding hair to her cranium. To get volumes consistent, I recommend flipping between your drawings often and use the onion skin tool when you need to. In general, when animating hair, there is secondary action. Secondary action is always delayed to the primary action. If the character's head moves down, for example, the hair kind of fans out a bit before settling. You want to keep the secondary action subtle, especially here as the movement isn't too big. Let's do this for all of our drawings. Since we are drawing digitally, we can take advantage of our software's ability to use layers. By creating a new layer on top of the character layer just for the hair, this makes it much easier for us to deal with if we ever need to make adjustments to it. Kozue's hair should be compressed a bit and the ends of them should be placed slightly screened leftwards as she is making a movement rightwards. As a general rule, the secondary action should often be opposite of the primary action. Something I like to do to make the drawing easier to read is to lock the transparency on the character layer and paint out the areas of the drawing that should be beneath the hair layer with an orange color. With drawing A4, Kozue moves downwards, meaning her hair should fan out. And this pattern with the hair repeats really for the rest of the scene, so we can just finish that up. And with that done, let's play it back. It's looking much more complete now. Next, let's add some shading. I generally do this for 1 or 2 drawings in the scene just to provide reference for directors on how I plan on lighting the characters. For drawing A1 here, I'll create 2 layers at the bottom, and I'll use one for the color separation lines. These are red and blue lines used to mark where the highlights and shadows are. Then let's mark the highlights on the eyes as well as on the hair with the red color. And then using the blue, let's draw out our shadows. On the layer at the bottom, I'll shade in the drawing to make it easier to read. Let's do the shading for another drawing as well. By having multiple shaded drawings, we make the scene easier during the tie-down process, but that is a bit out of the scope of this video. Again, same thing, let's add the touches to the cheeks, the highlights, and then we'll create the shadows. And then let's shade it in at the end. This is a bit of an optional step, but for some digital animators, they like to paint in the character with a light yellow color. This makes them stand out and easier to read, especially in complex scenes and ones with a lot of camera movement. We can do this easily by creating a layer at the bottom to paint in. And we can also turn off the paper and the layout template layer to see the transparent parts of the canvas. Then with our brush, we just color her in. We also want to add some camera movement to the scene. I think it makes it look better and also adds visual interest. I want the camera to move in what is called a skip pan and a truck back. In English, it's sometimes called a tracking pan or a tracking dolly. Here, the background camera work moves independently of the animation layer. This creates separation with the background from the character. I want the camera to move left first, matching Kazuha's initial movement up to drawing A3. So in the new layer, in the layout animation folder, I'll draw in that initial frame for the camera move. Then I want the camera to truck back, essentially zooming out on the background, and I'll create the frame for that as well. I actually have to increase the size of the canvas to fit this frame
That was
in.
funny, Kima.
Then let's label everything. The camera
Looks
moves
like
from position
we
A
hit
to
our
B,
10
and then
o'clock,
B to
y'all.
C.
So
And let's also write a memo for the camera move.
did
A
pretty good.
without skip pan, BG
Doing
pan
pretty good
plus
so
TB,
far.
meaning something
Doing
like A
pretty
skip
good.
pan, BG pan plus
Appreciate y'all staying along with us. You know what we do.
key frames, one at the beginning, one at the C,
You know what we do. You know what I'm saying?
Stop looking at my lemonade.
The camera work in the camera work column in our
All
time
right.
sheet.
Go ahead and pause this. Bro, it's still talking.
And
But
let's
nah.
create a memo for it as well.
I gotta get Dong's that template, man. That's pretty dope. I gotta get that. I get that template. All right, so let me see if there's anything already. Got anything cooking here? Got something already from you, Keeman, I can tell in the whips. And get you. I'll show, I guess, what some other people had sent me a little bit here as well. Sorry for the shake here. It looks like that's why I can't wait. I'm gonna I have a whole situation at some point where this camera comes up and I have to worry about it shaking or nothing. Wish I could have it hang from the ceiling. That'd be even cooler. I could just have it hang from the ceiling. I could just pull it down, just grip it. And, yeah. That was a pause moment. Yeah, go ahead and sit down for this one. Oh, looks like we got some more stuff here people want to show us. Ooh, that's cool. You know, you could drop it in Slice of Art. That's cool too, man. Push it in there. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and start, you guys. How about that? Let's get into it. All right. Slice of water time, y'all. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know why this thing always black when I literally have the same thing. All right. I'll show what Random did right here.
15 cents.
Appreciate it.
Taste my knees. 15 cents.
Go ahead and get that water, man. Go ahead and get that water. Good. Good spring water.
He's back.
I ain't never left. Yeah, this is cool. It's cool. It's real cool. I like it.
I guess you wonder where I've been.
I didn't think you left, bro. I didn't think you left. There you go. Ooh. Alright. Oh man, that's a long situation there. Forgot about that. Ooh. This is still all the way down yet. This thing I don't even know what it's calculating now. Alright, there we go. Pull this down. Got one over here. You want me to show all of them? Yeah, put them in Slice of Art next time, my guy. I'd love to check them out. Everybody want to see these. But yeah, this is cool. From what I understand, this is the loud void, the voids, and the mixed voids. Yeah. It's cool. All on the finger too, man. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you do with an actual stylus, bro. You cooking. You got ads? Oh. Darn. So you probably, let's see, let me go back in the Discord. Oh yeah, you did put it in there. Appreciate it. Thanks for, probably even said it. Thank you, sir. Want to give it the credit it deserves. Oh, looky Kima, it's coming along, man. It's coming along. Looking good, bro. I swear it looks like Iron Man on the lower left. But I know it's the guy in the middle. What's this guy's name again? Or can we know that? Is that still a mystery? I think it might be a mystery. Yeah, I think it might be a mystery, dog. Oh, Mecha Man. Okay. Cool. Bro, you back again? Bro, I don't even know when you're leaving. Keep on with you. Welcome back, though. Again. I'm be thinking you here the whole time. Oh yeah, you did mention that you was an ass. My bad. You did mention that. My bad. All right. Oh, did you put anything in Instagram by chance? Dang, yo. YouTube be far and far behind. Stuff in DMs. Alright, let me check it out here. Oh my gosh. As soon as I sat down, my whole brain turned off. I got 5 of them. Okay, this is cool. Pull it up here. I'm gonna have to pull it over yonder. Start here. Yeah, I thought you could do this a certain way, but I guess not. Oh well. Alright, you guys should see that, I hope. Yeah, it's pretty cool, bro. This is Shan. She's doing like a arrow thing where she's sending them from different dimensions type of thing. That's pretty cool. You got I don't know where I've seen that pose before, but you got your moms here. It's pretty cool. I like it. You got Beat over here. You got a little new form going on and such. That's pretty cool. Like the little lightning and stuff. It's really cool. Kind of remind me of that pose we did with Bikey. It's really cool. Oh, okay, cool. Dual flare. It's cool. Got the excuse me, new logo. Nice. Oh, okay. Cool. I like that, dog. Like that. Like that. Appreciate y'all. You guys are sharing your work. But shizzle. But shizzle. Let's see here. Any favorites? Good question. I actually like how you did your moms. I think that was really good. Like the shading on that one. So that's probably my favorite. That, I don't know, that's a hard choice between that one and Beat. I like how you did Beat over here and whatnot. I think that one's good too. So it's a tie between those two. No. Yeah, buddy. I'm getting hungry, man. All this water is just filling up an empty stomach. All right. Let's see here, y'all. Trying to think. I think that's it. Feel like I'm boring it. Yep, I'm boring it. My brain was thinking about something else. But yeah, as far as 2 characters, man, I'd say, I don't know. If I think more about it, I like Beat, the way he did that pose and the shading and that lightning. and whatnot. If it's lightning, it could be something else. Oh yeah. Oh. About to get dinner, bro. I think that's what's getting me, man. I'm like hungry. I'm trying to think what I ate today. I really didn't eat anything like that, man. I had some stuff to settle my stomach and whatnot, but I haven't really ate that much today. That's not good. Probably gonna have a pretty big dinner. Chill. Try to finish up these pages and whatnot. We got some more I can do on the manga, of course. We're gonna still keep pushing it through. I can't wait to start working on some animations, man. Y'all saw the ones that Dong was working on. I want to do some of those, man. So I like animating. I get more, I don't know, not that I get like more satisfaction out of it, because I feel like I get the satisfaction quick. I know it sounds weird, but I get satisfaction quicker out of animating than I do with making manga, because I feel like I don't get the satisfaction with manga until it's completely done. Like I have to do the entire thing, and then I'm like, ooh, looking, hey. But with animation, it's like I just need to see that movement for like one scene or whatnot, and that may not take as long. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's like taking something. It's like a drug. But in any case, I'll try to finish up. We got about 20 more minutes here. I'm gonna try to finish up a little bit more with you guys. I have an idea of who we're gonna raid today. I had 3 people. If they're streaming today, I'm gonna still do them. Let's see if I still got them up here. Thanks. So I think they're doing other things this time. We'll see. They may not be doing the same stuff.
This is Dead Serious Gaming.
We'll see. Yeah, I'm always trying to raid manga streamers and whatnot, so we can try to get more into that. But I see your thing up here, man. I'm on a road where everything is changing because it feels like when Kim and Sawmill work, you some will work in autumn some work. Yeah, I know it's a shift in my style change. I mean, it's changed too much. Actually, has drastically, but realizing that it looks a lot better the way it used to, because remember I used to have those bold lines. Stuff felt good to change. Okay, hey man, whatever gets the job done, my guy. No, I'm for it. But yeah, I think it was between those two. I remember now. It was yeah, looks like he's live. Is he doing manga right now? I think he's just doing an illustration. He just got manga in the title. I don't think I had Dead Serious Gaming as part of the thing, but I think that might have been Rhino's raid there. Anyway, let's get a little bit more done, and we'll do it. See, I'm at a point in my journey where everything is changing and feels shift. Every season has taught me something new, and my art style has evolved more than I ever expected. Looking back, I realized how much I've grown. Bringing back my bold line work has made my art feel more alive and expressive again. Sometimes moving forward seems reconnecting with what you made your work feel special in the first place. Pretty solid. I can agree with that. Ooh. I gotta sneeze. Something's like right there. Shank came. Here you go. Woo. Came out. I may not see as much as you do here, man. I mean, I see you improving as far as, well, I see the changes and the things that you want to do. So like, I guess what I'm seeing right now, doesn't necessarily remind me all of your old work, if I'm honest. I still see the evolution in some of the things you're doing. Maybe I didn't pay attention to the bold lines versus the thin lines, but I mean, I just noticed your shading has been different, and I think it's been better. Hey, appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, we all kind of find things along the way where we, find your style. I mean, do what you want to do. At the end of the day. Yeah, I guess I didn't tell immediately. I guess for me, man, I'm seeing so many different iterations of your work all the time. Think of it like, you have a family member and you don't notice like the small iterations of growth until they have like a huge growth spurt. So they're like 5'5", they get 5'6", 5'7". You really don't tell, but as soon as they jump up to 6'5", you be like, whoa, where'd you, what happened? So it's like I could go back and look at where you started and then I see that, but like these little intermittent changes, I'm not gonna catch everything. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, keep doing your thing. Like it's coming again. Nah, it's not coming. But yeah. Because even with myself, like there's certain things like I'll look at my artwork and you guys may say, hey man, you've improved and whatnot. Sometimes I'll be honest with you, I don't be seeing it. I'll notice like little things, like I'll change or I'll add, and I'll see certain things where I'll say, "Oh, I'm doing that better," but it'll take me a minute. Like if I go back 2 or 3 years, then I'll see it. But if I go back like maybe a week or 2 weeks ago, heck, no, I ain't seeing that. It'll take me a minute. That's all right. The goal is just to keep drawing, keep doing what you do. I don't know if y'all remember my old, I don't want to say it's old, but one of the sayings I was using about just, I guess, the art process in general, enjoy the journey, that's what it's more about. It's more about the journey than the destination. Just enjoy what you're doing. Destination's gonna get there. You're gonna get there. Whatever that is. Just enjoy yourself while you're there. Uh-oh. Mouse disconnected. Again, it disconnected. It's kind of funny how it just all of a sudden ticks a time. It's like, you know what? I can't see you anymore. Yeah. I think I can finally see it now. It's not that others couldn't see my progress. I couldn't see it myself. Today I had ChatGPT analyze my work and it estimated it would take me about 6 months to reach my goals. What surprised me was it said I was improving much faster than expected. It even pointed out how my work has become more expressive and broke down what I improved compared to before. That really gave me confidence to keep going. Cool. So since changing my line work, hey, you giving me some paragraphs over here, bro. Since changing my line work, everything has started to click. I need some food. My lines are sharper, my construction is stronger, and my art feels softer and more expressive. I also use ChatGPT to evaluate my work. I think you mentioned that. And point out areas to improve. It doesn't make decisions for me. It helps me learn. At the end of the day, it's just a tool. What matters most is how I continue to grow as an artist. Cool. Cool. It's pretty good.
Guess you wonder where I've been.
Oh man. Super effective. Oh man. Yes, that one that gets me in.
Stop looking at my lemonade.
I got some more. I just ain't put them up yet. I'm gonna surprise y'all with them. Off guard. LeBron James. It's crazy how he really looked like that now. Yeah, it's still here. Cause I got it on what's the name? I still didn't move it from Instagram and whatnot. I still had this up here. So yeah, it was still up here. Whew. I'm gonna finish up this ear, y'all. And I think that's Zowworldo. I feel like that's the one thing I can do pretty quickly is do some ears. All right, y'all. 2-piece and chicken grease. Yeah. Yeah, we did pretty good, y'all. Did pretty good. Appreciate y'all for staying. Hanging out with your boy. Am I sure? Yeah, maybe. But I'm sure we up out of here. We gonna raid. Let's see if they still streaming here. You know how it goes. Sometimes people be out since we. It's Hybrid Mink. That's who we looking at here. They got just a really cool illustration. I'm kind of interested in how they use their brushes here. It's really cool. But I'm gonna take a look at them and show them some love. Looks like they got about 8 people on here. Nanda te bayo. Yeah. Nanda ska. What would be the appropriate? I gotta brush up back on my Japanese again. Skoshi nihongo ga wakarimasu. Yeah. Wakarimasen. Yeah. Yeah. Skoshi wakarimasu. Nihongo ga. Yeah. Meaning that I speak very little Japanese. Yeah. Skoshi. Yeah. Yep. All right, Joe. Let's get up out of here. I appreciate y'all again, man. We got Thursday. I am going to keep an eye out on Discord. I'm gonna update you guys on Swordplay Monday and also the whole voiceover thing. I think that was still a cool idea. So we'll do that. So anybody who wants to join in that fun, I'll have like a thing, some requirements, certain things that y'all can say versus things that I probably don't want to hear on the channel and whatnot. But I think we're gonna do that. We'll do something fun with that. And yeah, appreciate you guys again. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys Thursday. But till then, I want y'all to stay sharp and be easy. Peace.
Duchess.
That's good. Ooh, that would actually be pretty sick. Play Duchess and
Duchess
Smash
would be
Bros.
really, really rad.
But-
To have that move of like the rewind damage thing.
Yeah.
You know what I
ooh.
mean? That'd be pretty cool.
Give me Wild.
What
Wilder?
the heck?
His name Wilder?
Wilder.
What's up, Ronin Draws? Thanks for the raid.
Kind of sound like the Saturday Night Live announcer.
Well,
Thanks for the follow.
I heard Smash there.
Wait.
That felt
Gotcha.
good.
Was that a follow?
What was it? Is there a Guardian?
Can't tell.
Guardian's the bird.
Guardian's the bird.
Yeah.
Okay.
How you guys doing?
Yeah, I mean, if
Thank you very much.
Level, then sure, I could see maybe a Dustblood's character. But it's Sakurai. Sakurai knows what's up. Sakurai knows the characters that people love and that people have those attachments.
But on the flip side of that, I feel like there have been.
I assume you were drawn tonight. What were you drawn?
Amiibo for games that you're like,
Thank
really
you
nice getting-
again.
Like Diana
Or just
from
thanks, thanks.
Pragnata getting an amiibo
Oh, did she?
was very like, whoa, that got it. And again, that's a
Forgot that got an
multi-platform
amiibo.
game, right? And Duskbloods is like, maybe I'm thinking Duskbloods because it's.
What's up,
only
Key Man? How you doing?
Switch, but
But yeah, I mean, you'll get a Dustblood's amiibo for sure.
it's exciting. I want one.
Yeah.
Hope it's a little
Excuse me.
mouse.
On the floor, the one
Yeah.
that's dying.
The one with the dying mouse amiibo. From Soft amiibos are gonna be sick.
Dying mouse.
So why is this the character you chose for the game?
Just
Infamous-
lays there.
Infamous Zach.
Working on manga?
writes with
Oh.
a super chat and says, birthday time.
Nice.
Turning 40 today.
It's a lot of work.
I'm excited for my new job.
I'm doing all right. I have a Artist Alley convention this weekend.
Lord help me.
So tomorrow I'm gonna be going, loading up the, loading up my car, going to the booth, setting up. Then I gotta come home late at night, eat late dinner, do another stream.
And no at 24%.
Then convention starts on Friday.
51%.
Thank you very much, Ronan.
Just show me the results.
Yep, this is a commission I'm doing for Dying over here.
So I didn't see the results there.
I think I'm gonna finish it
Baby
tonight.
Sen
We'll
says,
see.
Millennia, think about it. Her versus Sephiroth would be the hypest character trailer. That's a good point. Maybe you do a boss. Maybe you Radon.
I'm
Clip Studio? No, this is Paint Tool Sai.
I'm so excited.
Paint Tool Sai
to
2.0.
Elden Ring
Alpha
for the
preview
next
to
time.
2024. Yeah, blah blah blah.
I have no reason to be excited for it, but I want to just like, what are the? Let me just be one of the new classes, you know?
Oh sure, but there you can buy those on whatever platform you're on. I'm pretty sure there's like some kind of DLC.
Yeah, but the little box is cool.
Definitely need
Hey,
to tweak this hand a
I
little
like
bit.
the Elden Ring box.
Hopefully it runs well.
It'll be 30. It'll get 30.
What does it usually run on? Is it all? Is it
Specifically
is it-
this finger.
Does that run at 60 on modern consoles?
It tries to get to 60. Yeah. Modern consoles, it is 60, but I'm pretty
Is
sure
your
they
first
have
drawing software?
quality of performance. But
fair.
60 is gonna.
Yeah, I started in Fireworks. Nobody knows what Fireworks is. And then I did Photoshop. And then I did Painter. And then Painter got annoying. Corel Painter. So then I went full Photoshop for like a year. And then I tried Paint Tool Sci. And then I used Paint Tool Sci for a long time. And then I got Sci 2.0, which is still in like alpha. And this is my favorite. It's like a lightweight. The brushes feel good. Never crashes. It's great.
You call your mom, you're like, get me out of here.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to be here.
Pick me up.
I don't know what level I'm supposed
I have
to be,
tried Clip
whatever
Studio.
reason I'm not there.
I'm not paying their cloud service. Fuck them.
Oh my god.
But hey, they're good. They're alright. I don't know why I said fuck them. That's probably too much.
On the sidewalk.
Whatever. I don't think I'm ever gonna use Clip Studio. I don't want to learn a new program. I'm getting old. I already don't really want to use Photoshop, so
Thanks, Kev, for all you do.
I don't need another program that I don't really want to use.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Happy
Appreciate
birthday.
you.
We got another birthday tax from Harden the Paint, who says, birthday tax. Also was hoping y'all would be on this episode, as I just got my AYN Thor in yesterday. Loving it so far. Still holding out hope that Andy will upload his icons. His icons for, and then he gives eye emojis.
Where could I even? Man, I think I have that PSD still. I might put him up somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't even know where you upload shit anymore. Like, back in the day you do like Imager and shit, but like, do people do
Mega
that?
upload.
Maybe like a Google Drive link or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
JD Silva 29 says, after Dustbloods, when is FromSoft's next release? I'm gonna say.
Does Paint Tool Sci have any way of animating?
Because I'm assuming. This is me assuming.
I need something that has Photoshop's like filters, the liquefy tool, and the animation timeline. I need all that
I
stuff.
don't know anything, but it'll either be Armored Core or some.
Oh man,
some weird action game that's like Sekiro.
something got my throat.
Maybe even a Sekiro. I would love it if it was a Sekiro, but something that's not a mainline Souls thing, but them stretching, them innovating a little bit.
They hop in and they go, Team Ninja, let us take it from here.
You have the paid version of Clip Studio and not paying for a sub. Yeah, I paid for Paint Tool Sci. It was a one-time like $60.
Yeah,
that was nice.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I'd love like a parry.
What
parry situation?
It is really staggering to think about Armored Core 6 coming out and being the robot mech game, fast, crazy action. From the outset, from the outsider's point of view, you look at Armored Core, you're like, that looks like the least accessible thing. Like, how the fuck can I play this? If it just looks like very daunting, right? With the movement and all that shit. But for that game to come out and still, it's so like 5 to 6 million or something. That's unbelievable.
They're them now.
You can't even.
Their name's on the product. You're gonna buy it now.
It's insane to me, and I think, am I gonna go with the same argument that if Armored Core 6 came out today?
All right, see you later, Keyman.
60 to 70% of that, maybe, just because of money being tighter nowadays. But like that selling that much is crazy. Thinking about how other studios and publishers can't get their big mainline games to sell 3 to 4 million. Like, it's unbelievable how trusted they are.
2028. It's Summer Game Fest. No, not even Summer Game.
It is finally time.
It's this 2027 December. It's game.
All right, good night, Diane. We'll see you later.
Keely is like, and I have one more thing to show you. Screen fades to black. From Software logo fades in. From Software logo fades down, and a new logo fades in. That logo, Kingsfield.
Okay.
This is a Kingsfield.
Hey,
and everybody's like, "What the fuck is Kingsfield?"
I could see that. I think people are more aware of obviously the Kingsfield lineage with From Software, but I think From Software is maybe one of the only studios / being owned by Katakawa, and we saw all the reports of Katakawa being like, hey, come on, make more shit, and then being like, dude, we do things, trust us, we put the thing out, it's gonna sell. They're like one of the only newer companies that I think can just do a new IP instead of Elden Ring 2 instead of Dark
Oh,
Souls
100%.
4.
I mean, they proved that with Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Where it's like you had Dark Souls, like you have IP, and they're like, we're gonna make an open world, essentially an open world Dark Souls, but it's not gonna be Dark Souls.
But with that thing,
New IP.
with that thing being in development for as long as it was, I mean, that thing got announced in 2018 or 2019.
Which one?
Elden Ring. Like we were at the old studio when it first saw the first. We saw the first
sure.
trailer. Like it had been announced for a while, and it had been in development for probably a couple years prior to that. But I think like 2026 is just such a different time where all of these studios are going stick to the IP, stick to the rivers and lakes you're used to. Movies, no, we're bringing back Chris Evans. We are bringing back Robert Downey Jr. You got to stick with the shit that we know because that's what's gonna sell. Because you take any risks, and that's just like we just can't take risks anymore. From Software is still one of those that can take a risk.
Oh, for sure.
And can come out with a new game called
I expect them to take, like they've only been taking
Magic Time.
Yeah, like the fact that we got, I guess I was gonna say Night Rain, but Night Rain's kind of a risk, like it has the Elden Ring name to it, but it being a multiplayer version of that. Dustblood's the new IP and a multiplayer IP. Like, what the fuck is up with that? And then, like I expect whatever their next new big RP. The beautiful thing about From Software is that I don't automatically expect Elden Ring 2. I think they can make whatever they want at whatever scope they want.
It's just so crazy that it's a Switch 2 exclusive.
Yeah.
I can't, like, that is still so shocking to me. That there are legions of From Software fans going, man, am I going to have to buy a Switch 2 for this shit? And they would if it wasn't a PvPvE. I'm telling you that right now. Like,
can Nintendo throw that bag? I'm sure they could. Would Nintendo throw that bag is the question, actually.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
Would they throw that? Because I'm sure from Software, like, oh, you want a single player game from us? You want a single player action RPG from us? Give us Mario. You start naming things.
Yeah.
Like, we want custody of Luigi.
Yeah.
I want
he's ours.
He's ours. I want Midna from Zelda. You start naming things that Nintendo just can't afford.
From Software says we're making the next Zelda.
We're making the next Zelda game.
Oh my god.
Man.
No fucking thanks.
I just want that experience again of just booting up a new From Software game.
I mean, you gotta play test it next month.
Here's what I'm telling you. After playing the demo for Mortal Shell 2, it's been a while since we've booted up a Souls game. Because for 2 to 3 years, it was just like nonstop.
Yes.
Every month there was like a new, month to two there was a new sort of action adventure experience that, you kind of lose the feeling of what it feels to boot up like a new one of these, and the feeling of walking around, kind of wandering lost. What's next? Oh shit! Oh, boss fight! Oh my god! Dude, Mortal Shell 2 is like kind of low key cooking with how it's structured and how you get around the world and what the bonfires are, and I was really surprised by how much I enjoyed that Steam Next Fest demo.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how Beast of Reincarnation does, because obviously it's not. Or I won't say obviously. 'Cause I've played the preview, so I know that game is. It's not Soulsy in the mystery of the world and exploration of it. It really only is. It's more Sekiro like in the combat a little bit, right? Like it has that action RPG, the modern generation action RPG, like design tendencies when you think of a Stellar Blade or a First Berserker or whatever one of those games you want to mention. But I feel like it's been long enough. Like last year and the year before, I feel like it was the action game Barrage.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Team Ninja puts out 5 a year.
Team Ninja puts out 5 a year.
Wu Chang Fallen Feathers.
Fallen Feathers.
I was
There's
Fallen
another
Dynasty.
one of those. Wasn't there like a Wu-Dang?
Wu-Dang.
No, that got